And are you just waiting to speak? Because that really matters. If you want to grow your influence, if you want to have a deeper connection, those are very, very important things that you must do. And another question I want to ask you, the second question is, how often do you reflect what you have done in the past? Are you trying to improve yourself, or are you just rushing ahead? Because trust me, I rushed a lot. I'm, poor Chinese immigrant. I mean, all of these things screams desperate for success. And I truly was. I don't want to make it sound really bad, but I really did feel desperate for success because I wanted to get out of the circle or the cycle that I was in, the struggles. So please find time to evaluate how you think, how you speak, and then the reaction that you receive from the people around you so that you can continue to improve yourself. Because how you speak, if you speak with choice, people love that. People love to hear that they have a choice instead of being ordered, right? Are your words kind? To me, kindness is a superpower. To speak kindly is a superpower. It does not make you weak in any way at all. And that's why I have good relationships around me, because I choose to be kind to everyone around me and to be polite. And another thing I want to ask you, if you ask this question, is how do I know that I make the right decisions in life as I'm moving ahead? Because I'm assuming that many of you are obviously in university, or you are maybe a PhD student, or maybe you are heading into, growing your own business. Let's say you're a new entrepreneur. How do you know what your decision is right? First of all, I would always ask you to begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind is, what is your big picture? Your purpose? Is it linked to your values? Are you seeking superficial gains, or are you seeking to develop a passion of yours? This is not easy, of course, to find your passion. My passion is public speaking. And I always talk about public speaking and communications because I love it so much. And I hope that you can feel it from me too, even though we're so far away online, is that I really enjoy what I do. And when I feel good on the inside and I'm speaking to you and I'm speaking to a live audience, people feel my energy, right? The energy is pure. The energy is good. It's positive. And when you do that, people appreciate it. And then people actually trust you because you're being authentic. You're being true. So to earn trust, you must know yourself. So once again, clarity of mind to reach outer success. Next slide, please. I want to ask you, even though I can't hear many of you, is, are you surprised? Are you surprised in the direction that I'm heading so far with what I'm saying? Because I'm not giving you any, quick fix, easy, quick tips on how to reach outer success right away. Because for me, success did not come right away. I had to balance my life as a mother to raise my young children while I was, growing my love for public speaking, which mainly was as a master of ceremony. I wanted to give up twice, actually, because I was struggling so much with raising kids, balancing my life as a mother and a wife, and also helping my husband with his career. And I wanted to quit twice, but my heart says, and this is the, continuation on the last question as to, how do you know your decision is right? My heart tells me don't quit. It's not just my mind, but my heart says, don't quit. You love it. You really love it. And I wanted to create something of my own. I wanted to have something of my own. I know that I have beautiful children. I have a wonderful husband, but I wanted to have a career of my own as well, because that gave me a sense of passion. And this is another way for me to give back to the community. So I wanted to quit twice, but I didn't. And that's because I listened to my intuition. I listened to my heart, because we all are guided, whether you believe in God or not. And I'm not going to go into that because that's a totally different topic. So Real world experience is what I'm sharing with you. And I will share a story with you later, because what I'm saying, what I'm telling you, is not theories. They are not theories, and they are not just an assumption. Um, it is not only your perceived idea of how others are, but also having the curiosity enough to try to understand people before you try to find a common thread between all human beings. Because I observe people, because I love human behavior, I'm always trying to understand what is the common thread between all humans. Because at the end of the day, if you think like that, you think that you are equal to another person. That's how you start to build the connection, not because of status, not because of lower status, not because of money, not because of anything materialistic. It has to come from within you, how you feel and how you are speaking, and your tone affects how people perceive you. And I'm serious, your tones is really, really, really important, because if you talk to somebody, let's say, in a condescending way, like I'm better than you, I was born into higher status, or I have more money, or what. And if you speak in this way to other people, which I received a lot when I was a child, when I was a teenager in the US, people spoke down at me a lot in the US. And that taught me a lot of things too, of course. It hurts me. It really hurts me. And I'm able to share my knowledge and my experience, and I hope to say wisdom with you, because I received the bitter end of life. I suffered also a lot. My life was not easy, and it definitely was not glamorous as what you see now in the photos and in the beautiful videos that your university have made, right? So to connect is to understand people. So another question for you is, have a think now. What connects all humans? What connects us? I'm not talking about unity here. I'm not talking about the same thought. I'm talking about what unites us, what connects us? What is a common thread? I'll give you a second to think. To me, first of all, it's a very, very obvious answer. It's that we're human. We're all human. I'm not an alien speaking to you, right? I'm not coming from another planet. I'm here. Even though my skin color is different from you, maybe my hair color is a little bit different, maybe the language is different, but I'm still a human being living on the same planet as you, first of all. So we all have the basic need, right? The need to find happiness. And for me, it's not just happiness, it's to seek peace. Because I had a life that I had a lot of suffering, and suffering is created by your own mind, okay? So suffering is a choice. And I did not know that I had the choice or to choose how to think when I was younger. So suffering is a choice. Okay, this is what I learned from the books that I have read. And so I seek not just happiness, I seek to have inner peace. I seek to release the trauma from my life, from the past, so that I can grow bigger and bigger. And that's how you grow your presence as well. You have to learn to let go of what happened to you, or you can say what happened for me instead of what happened to me. So instead of linking your identity to what happened to you and say, oh, that's what happened to me, I'm a victim, I pity myself, because that's what I did. I was a victim mentality person. I pitied myself all the time. Not all the time every day, but when I say all the time, it's over, decades. And so the common thread to me is, first of all, basic, we're human. We have the same needs. We have a need to find happiness, and we also have a need to grow within the society that we're in, and also to be accepted by the community around you, because you cannot live alone. Okay, people who are alone, they die. But we are born with a different blueprint. So every single one of us starts with a different blueprint. You were born into a body, and I'm speaking from a spiritual aspect now. You're born into a body. You're born into a specific location. that has a attachment to a culture. The culture has society expectations. You might have a religion attached to the society that you were born into, or the values that your parents, or lack thereof, put you into. And also, if you did not grow up with your parents, you grew up with some adults, uncles, aunties, grandparents, and they have their values, right? So those people affect how you choose to find your happiness in life. So just because we all do things differently, the end goal is the same. The end goal is what? For me, the end goal is to reach peace, inner peace. Maybe one day enlightenment, but that's very, very difficult. But I'm trying, and I want to continue to seek peace. So next slide, please. This is the slide with me holding a coconut. I'm sharing the coconut because it took me a long time to learn about myself and to grow my presence. You know, I grew my presence slowly over time, 20 years. So it's not like, oh, boom, you know, I go from college, I graduate from college and I become successful right away. Most people do not have that kind of privilege. And if they do have privilege, they also have setbacks along the way while they are very, very successful. So do not be deceived, do not be deceived by the glamour, the outer success that you see in other people. Okay, I'm trying to be very, very truthful to you. I'm trying to be very authentic, and I'm sharing with you that real life gain comes from who you are on the inside, because everything starts with you first. Okay, it doesn't come from outer in. It always come from the inner out. If you want to grow presence over the long run. So I'm not talking about superficial gains here. All right, I'm talking about long-term gains, growing presence and influence. Because when you have influence, you already have connection, right? So, like I said, my life was tough. I like to say my life was not easy. It's the analogy would be me walking up a steep mountain on a regular basis. I can stop once in a while to take a break, thank God, but I have to keep going on a steep climb. Lessons keeps coming every few years. And life was quite tough because I immigrated to US when I was 10 from Hong Kong. Not speaking English, I dealt with racism on a regular basis. Mainly I was ignored by people, but I had continuous racism. When you feel racism, I'm not saying just speaking or hearing the words. And I said, when you feel racism, for me, because I'm a very sensitive person, it hurts deeply. It hurts very, very deeply inside. And let me tell you, I can finally say now at my age, all the suffering that I dealt with, all the racism, all the prejudice, all the stereotyping, and the regular bullying between 1991 to 1994 helped me become who I am today, because I choose to speak kindly to people. I choose not to keep hatred inside. I choose to use words to help others. And in addition to outer, my own mother, who I love very, very much, also struggled to choose words because of the highly critical nature of her that she learned from my own grandparents. So it's the Chinese values that was passed down to her. And she does not know better because she has no chance to have higher education like me, because my mom and dad work really, 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 really hard, laborious work in a Chinese restaurant to give me and my brother the opportunity to go to university. So it took me a long time to have that feeling of acceptance and the love. Even people around me hurt me. So remember, that's why I say to reflect, to observe, and try to understand people. Why do they speak the way they do? It's the whys, always. Do you speak to yourself well? Now I'm going back to you now. Do you speak well to yourself? What is your narrative? because that's very, very important. How do you choose to think about yourself, right? So the speaking and the thinking is linked, right? You think and then you speak, right? So it's linked. How do you choose to think about yourself? I want to master my mind. I do not want my mind to control me. This is a continuous learning. So I'm not telling you that I have mastered it. Yeah. I am telling you humbly that I am still continuing to try to master my mind, because there are things that I just immediately react to, right? And reacting means you have no control. You are doing what your blueprint have taught you from the past. So to wrap this part up is the words that you choose to say in the way you say it, so the tones, can create war around you, which there are a few around the world, or it could create peace. It truly is a ripple effect. Next slide, please. Chaotic minds, wrong words can really affect your life. If you want to be a leader, master yourself, understand why, how you say what you say before you speak to others. Now, you cannot be a leader or have any influence over others if you don't work on yourself. The analogy that I would say is you don't want to be an empty, pretty shell on the outside and have little depth, no wisdom or knowledge about people or life. You need to, once again, develop your inner being, and the outer growth will come to your future self. Next slide, please. And I know there's going to be a lot of questions afterwards. So if you want to ask me questions afterwards with some real life, stories, please do so. Make sure that you keep your questions short and condensed so that other people have the opportunity to ask me as well. So once again, I keep saying the same thing, it is maybe not what you expected, okay? How to build influence and connection and all of that. Once again, what I say are not theories, right? You can fake it till you make it, of course. I have to pretend to be very calm sometimes when I'm very nervous before I go on a stage as well. So there is that aspect of becoming, right? Becoming. But you have to believe that you can, and you have to take action. Right? So if you want to grow influence, you need to take action. It's not just theory. So don't just mull over books. Don't just mull over talks. Go out and talk to people. Go out and talk to people, strangers even. Now, this is an example that I want to share with you. And this is me. This is called a mindset shift. And I think I was 16. And I'm sorry there's background noise in the background because my parents are here, and I do apologize for that. But because I worked at my parents' restaurant, they opened a Chinese restaurant. My dad is a chef. We opened a Chinese American restaurant in Ohio, where I'm at right now. And I busted tables. I washed dishes first as a kid. Washed dishes, bust tables, hosted the customers, meaning like when they walk in, I have to seat them, I have to serve them, I take orders, I fill soy sauce, I roll silverware, set up the table, clean the table, all of that. And I remember when I was a kid, you grew up with hormones. I mean, you when you're a kid, sometimes you just wake up and you just feel terrible. I have those times when I wake up and I just feel terrible. And to be honest with you, back then, my restaurant, my parents' restaurant, to me, I thought was a prison. And I love using this word because I want you to feel what it feels like. I know that most of you have obviously, actually none of you probably has ever been to a prison, but you can imagine it, right? You can try to put yourself into my shoes. I felt the restaurant as a child was a prison because I had no freedom. I never went out with friends. I did not even go watch movies with friends. There are no phones back then. So there is no chance for you to watch cartoon or anything. I just remember going to school, coming to the restaurant from the school. And this is not every single day, but it's 3 to 4 days a week, up to 6 days a week when I was 17 or 18. And I just remember thinking and feeling really, really, really bad. I don't like to use the word depression because I think back then there was no depression because we didn't use that word back then. Okay, this is about 20 years ago, actually 30 years ago. So I was just feeling miserable, very unhappy with my life. And it felt like a huge dark blanket over my shoulders. So it's a heaviness that I felt. And let me tell you, I carried that heaviness into my 30s. And if you are able to let go of your past, don't carry it for so long like I did. How did I come about into this mindset shift? I felt so unhappy with my life back then that all of a sudden, one day, I have no idea why, I decided I'm not going to feel like this anymore. Because it was too much. The feeling of heaviness was too much. The negativity was too much. And I honestly, I don't like negativity. Why would you want to have negativity in your life? Why would you want to complain all the time, right? And one day I decided I'm not going to feel like this anymore. My outer situation, I have no control over. Why? First, I'm the eldest daughter of a Chinese family. I have no choice. I feel the responsibility of helping my parents. And honestly, I did not have a choice. It wasn't like I wanted to work. I had to work. Because we lived in a town of about 10,000 people. It's a very, very small town in the US. It's very difficult to find reliable people to come to work. Some people come to work for one day and they quit and they just don't show up anymore. Some people come to work for a week, 2 weeks, a month, 4 months, 6 months max. And then they quit because they're high school students and they go off. And I was the only reliable person that could help my mom and dad because my younger brother is 6 years younger than me and he was too young, right? If I was, 14, 15, 16, my brother is only like 10 or 9. He cannot work in a restaurant yet. So I also felt sad for my mom and dad because let me tell you, they work much, much more than me. Much longer hours than me. When you're young and you're a teenager, you're very absorbed in your own emotions. You don't care about other people. You don't care about what I care about my parents, but I never understand how much my mom and dad worked. They work 12, 14, sometimes 16 hours a day with only a half day off in a week. Only Saturday morning. It's the only time that they close the restaurant so that they can have a rest. And I didn't care about how my parents felt at the time. I was just thinking about my life was miserable, blah, blah, blah. But I felt sad. If I didn't help my mom and dad, who would help them? I have a sense of duty. And so I decided to shift. I decided one day, like I said, I think I was maybe about 16 or so, because I wasn't that old yet, 15 or 16. And I said, I have to help my mom and dad. I'm going to come to work and I'm going to be happy. How do I do it? I just pretend to smile. And when I pretend to smile, and you can believe it or not, after about an hour or so, my body started to feel lighter because I was smiling. Whether it was truthful or not, I smiled because I wanted to take care of the customers because the customer meant money. And instead of being yelled at by my parents, because I was I was in such a bad mood. So my bad mood affect my mom and dad. They yell at me. I say bad things to the customers. Customer complain to my mom and dad. So it's like a circle of negativity. When I changed my mindset, because I didn't want to feel bad anymore. I did not want to feel unhappy anymore going to work because I cannot choose my outer situation. The only thing I could change was here. That's it. This is the only thing I had the ability to change and to control. So do not ever think that you can control how others speak to you, what they choose to say, okay? You control yourself first so that you can influence other people. What happened was I decided to be happy. I fake smile and then my body felt happier. I took care of the customers were happy, I got better tips, I made more money. And then of course my mom and dad are happy because there's no complaints. So then from negative, it became positive all around, just because I decided at one moment in time to change. So don't ever tell yourself, I can't let go yet, I can't change it. It's a choice. It's very, very hard. I'm not telling you it's easy, it's hard. But it's your choice, and you can only make a decision in the present moment, because you're always only living in the present moment. Now, going into almost the end of my presentation, I have 2 more slides left, I believe. Actually, 3 more slides left. And I hope that my timing is still okay at the moment, because I didn't time myself. I do apologize. Going into the next slide is, I wanted to share with you things that you should never do. I received this a lot as a child, and I also do it, okay? I'm not telling you that I'm this perfect person, and I don't do it. I have done all of this. I have done every single one of them. I'm telling you because I want to be truthful to you. I want to be authentic to you, because to be a leader, I must share with you what I have done so that you can learn from it and that you can accept it. It's okay to have done all of this stuff, because you're learning. You're a human being, B-E-I-N-G, I-N-G. You are learning, growing, becoming. So always remember that you are growing. Do not be too harsh on yourself as well, because I have been harsh on myself, right? Be patient with your growth, but continue to grow, continue to improve. Now, these are the no-nos. I call this speaking no-nos. And of course, I know you understand, what gossip is. Gossip is speaking ill of someone when they're not present. Like, oh my God, did you know that? You're doing stuff like that. And if you do that in front of this person eventually will know that you're going to do the same thing to him or her when this person is not present as well. So you're not going to gain connection, you're not going to gain trust, and you're not going to have influence, for sure. Judging. We all judge. I judge. You judge because you need to assess whether this person, the situation, even walking down the steps is a threat to your life or not. So you must judge. But there are different types of judging, okay? I like to see it that way. We judge to assess whether a situation is a threat or not, but we also judge because we have our own bias, right? Let's say one friend does this because she is your friend, but then another person does the same thing, and you want to judge this person because this person is not your friend. This is also wrong, right? But you need to know that you're doing it. If you don't know that you're judging, you're not going to change, and you will continue to be the way that you are, and nothing will grow. Your influence will not grow. Your connection with this person will not grow. Social hierarchy. Like I said earlier, let's say you are born into a middle class or wealthy family, because, right, I was born like slum poor. So there's no way for me to ever speak down to anybody. There's no other down except for, cockroaches and rats, right? And so my grandma always taught me one thing. She said, whether you're talking to a CEO or you're talking to somebody who's cleaning the streets, you speak to them with the same respect, no matter what. And I always remember this from what my grandma taught me. This is something very, very important. Always speak to people as human beings first. Not because you are better, you are less. Human beings first, connect first. I know we have hierarchy. I know we have the respect for the elders. India is very similar to Chinese. I respect elders also. But I try to connect with people from my American culture to try to connect with people equal first. Equal first, connect first as human beings first, right? Do the little chit chats first before you go into the hierarchies. Negativity. I have been negative, I told you. I complain about being a victim. I pity myself. Why does my life suck so bad? Why do I have to have no freedom? How come I never go to a football game? How come I never get to watch movies with my friends? You know, negative, 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 which leads to complaining. Negative leads to complaining. It's, to me, it's similar things. And if you're negative, just expect that you're going to get sick easier. Okay, it's a stress increaser, and it's very, very, very bad for your health. So if the day is sunny, don't complain that it's so hot outside. The sun is giving you a chance to grow. It's giving you warmth. All right? There's always something positive to think if you choose. Excuses. Excuses is, oh, I'm a victim. I have no choice. I cannot do this. Do you want to feel powerless? Do you want to feel like you can't? Excuses will help you to feel less capable. Even though you may not feel confident that you can do something, seek advice around you. Try. Try, and the more you try, it's just like riding a bicycle. The more you ride a bicycle, the better you get. Do you think the Olympians become Olympians because they did nothing at home? They're not sitting at home watching TV all the time with the remote in their hands. They're practicing their craft. I improve in my public speaking because I'm practicing my craft. I had the chance to speak as a child because I was a server at my parents' restaurant from 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and I continued working. I am continuously learning how to improve my public speaking. Lying. Well, we all know. Lying, no trust, no credibility, no influence. And you all know, so I'm not going to elaborate. Dogmatism is another word. I do apologize. I don't know what dogmatism is in your language, but dogmatism is believing your words is the fact. It's the truth. But it's just an opinion. You see examples of world leaders nowadays that speak as if what they say is the truth, when it's just their opinion. And they do not tolerate other people's opinion. That really affects your influence. Next slide, please. So once again, let me head back to what I originally said is, do you do those things? I hope that you will catch yourself when you do it.
What?
Okay? I'm not asking you to be perfect, but do you have love and compassion for your fellow human beings? Do you have a kind heart? Because at the end of the day, that is what comes down to it. If you want to grow presence, you have to make sure you don't do the speaking no-nos and that you're trying to improve yourself continuously by wanting to understand the people around you, listening, connecting. So when you speak, are you speaking with a win-win mentality? Are you speaking with win-lose? Are you empathetic? Are you trying to give your best to others around you? Are your intentions pure? Oh, we're finished. And are your intentions pure?
Excuse me.
But most importantly, know your limits and boundaries. Okay, and if I have no more time, it's no problem. I'm happy to end there. I have, I think, one more slide, but I'm happy to end there as well, if that is the case. Please let me know. Can I continue with one more slide, or my time is up? Yeah, my time is up. It's 8 o'clock. All right, I understand. Thank you very much, everybody, for your attention. Yes. Say again, please. Thank you once again, everybody, for your attention and for your invested time. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes. Can you? I can hear you.
Just a second, ma'am. Just a second.
No worries. No worries.
Just a second, ma'am.
Sure. No worries.
Hello. Am I audible, ma'am? Okay. Thank you. really hate to interrupt this very, very interesting session. Being a communication person myself, uh, I teach communications in this college, so wonderful to listen to you. I think I don't know whether we have time to take a few questions. Take a few questions.
Right.
Do we have?
Right.
Okay. I really can't see some of the questions that have come up here, if at all. Personally, can I ask you a question now? Just, hello?
Yes. And if you don't mind, after she asks the question, please type it for me in the chat as well. Yes.
Okay.
Can I
Thank you.
ask you a question now?
Yes, yes, of course. I'm sorry for my background noise.
Am I not clearly audible to you?
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. Just one question from my side. When I confront students, very often I find, particularly today's generation.
Yes, I'm waiting for the question to be typed because I have background noise and then the sound isn't excellent.
Tell me the question, I'll type it.
Okay. Okay. I find that today's generation, they're much more self-obsessed than the previous generations ever. Okay. So, yeah. So my question is, I find today's generation to be a little too self-obsessed with their own concerns, their problems. So it's like not self-reflection so much as thinking that they are the worst off and not looking outward to observe others around them.
So the question is, today's generation, they are obsessed with the previous generations and their own concerns. And they're looking to others around them. Okay, because there's too much noise around you. That's why, right? And what exactly is the question then, please? Like how to resolve this, or?
Am I audible?
Okay, I will.
Yeah, so I'll
Yes.
just repeat the question once.
Okay.
Okay. So it's more like I find today's generation, they are much more obsessed in comparison with the previous generation with their own concerns. So it's a comparison between
Okay.
today's generation and the previous generation, and they're looking they are very much concerned with their own things happening around them and not looking out to the others around them.
Yes, yes, I totally agree with you. It is true because of the technology that we have. We are seeking constant self-gratification, endorphin in our minds with the phone, constantly entertained. We are not really listening to ourselves. We actually don't even know ourselves. So I would highly suggest for everyone, if you are too obsessed with yourself, please control how much you use your phone. Please go out and talk to real people. Meet up with friends, give them a phone call, don't text them. I know this is outside of your comfort zone. I have my influence because I do things outside of my comfort zone on a regular basis. Every time I'm on a stage, it's a uncomfort zone. So I suggest you to please go out and talk to people, talk to strangers, try to understand, because the less you are spending time on yourself and thinking about your own needs, you will start to understand other people more, because everybody want to feel listened to. And let me tell you, more and more people are feeling lonely in the world because they have this need to always play with their phone. It's a constant thing. So less time on your phones, less time on the computer, maybe read more books and have more human to human interaction. So control how much time you spend on your phone. That's my answer. 阿爸唔好洗盡啦，你遲啲先洗啊！我就快搞掂啦。Okay.
Ma'am, there are a few
Yes.
questions on the chat. I would like to just show you on the screen itself. So
Yes,
just a
please.
second.
That'd be,
I'll be
thank
very
you.
quick with this here. Just a second, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, so here is a one question, first question, as you can see on the screen.
I don't see the screen. I see myself at the moment.
Yeah, ma'am. So can you see there is a text on the screen, Shiva Prasad? No?
No,
All right, so
not yet.
I'll read it. I'll just copy the question and just a second.
Thank you.
Can you see it, ma'am, right now? Ma'am, we have just a second. Can you see it right now?
Yeah. Not yet. I see myself only. Oh, okay. Does clarity create influence, or does emotional ambiguity create curiosity that drives influence? Very good question. Very good question. Okay, let me think about that real quick. Does clarity create influence, or does emotional ambiguity create curiosity? I think it would be the latter. Yeah. Okay,
So
that's
there is one more
go back to
question.
that question.
One more question, ma'am.
Is persuasion more about what we say or what we strategically leave unsaid? I think that's both. So to answer the first question first, can you go back to the first question so I can read that? And then I'll go into the second question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Done.
Yes, thank you. Emotional awareness. I wouldn't say ambiguity. Emotional awareness, meaning not just awareness of yourself, but you have a curiosity about other people. Creates the drive that can help you influence. Because the more you listen to somebody, because you're curious about them, and when you speak to them, you also learn about yourself, because you are reflecting the whole time, you're thinking, and that will help you to create influence, because you're listening to another person, you're creating the space for them, and they feel appreciated, they feel cared for, and you will continuously grow influence with them while you're doing that. So that is my answer to the first question. It's giving space for the people that creates the influence in your life. And the second question is persuasion more about what we say or what we strategically? That's both. It's both. I have to say that I am still trying to master communications right now. The combination of words that you use, my facial expression, the thought that comes with the words, okay? So the thought that comes with the words, based on my understanding of life, based on my blueprints, and then also my body language will tell people how they're going to perceive me. And all of this will affect how I persuade other people. But at the end of the day, if you want to simplify all of this, is if your energy is pure, because there are many times when people misunderstand me or misunderstand you because I use different word because I'm from a different culture from them. I'm Chinese with an American mind. Sometimes Thai people confuse what they are used to with what I say. They think that I'm being too aggressive, for example. And to me, I'm already a lot less aggressive than what I used to be. So there are still misunderstanding now with me, even though I think I speak very, very clearly. So you have to go back and tell them, I'm sorry that you misunderstood me, but what I really mean is, and it has to come from your intent, your tone of voice, and how you speak. And then people, whether they are in a clear state of mind or whether they're actually sick, they will perceive what they want to perceive, because there are a lot of times when you're talking to people who are actually mentally unhealthy And no matter what you say to them, they're not going to understand you anyways. And I can see that from their face that they are mentally unwell from too much
Thank
stress.
you.
So yeah, that's it.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
I
you.
think we are really, really running out of time. So we need to conclude this session. I'm sorry because of the technical glitches in the beginning. But however, we really, really need to conclude. So I'm sorry and I hate to end this, but I'm sure you understand.
Yes, no problem.
Um,
Of course, of course.
As we come to the close of this truly enriching session, we reflect with gratitude on the depth of insight, authenticity, and inspiration that Ms. Abel Warnock-McCock has shared with us today. The important point that she actually stressed on was being true to yourself, self-reflection, observing people's nonverbal expression, cultivating emotional intelligence, importance of listening in building connection, evaluating self vis-a-vis how kind we are. These are the basis of making a connection. Thank you again for your generosity in sharing your experiences, both personal as well as external, your wisdom and your energy with us. We are truly honored by your association and look forward to welcoming you back to RCM in the future. And my sincere apologies again for having introduced you in the wrong way. Okay, I stand corrected. Ms. Abel Warnock-McCock works in the US but belongs originally to Thailand. I'm again sorry of this misinformation in the beginning. Thank
No,
you.
no worries, no worries. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Would love to have you here someday, your physical presence and interaction with the students. Thank you so much.
I hope so. I hope so. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Shreta, as well, for inviting me. And thank you to you as well. Thank you so much. And to all the students, thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ
Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you.